Call me Neoblade, and this is Protoss wall on the new ladder maps starting in May 2017. I think it is Season 2, and before we jump into the replays, I show you walling in the lower leagues. If you're bronze or silver, you can just wall with 2 pylons, your main ramp and a gate, so you can constantly produce workers, constantly produce zealots, and then expand as fast as possible. This way we'll do an attack here. You should rescue the zealot and do an on probe, on hold position like this. So I lost a lot of units, I think, but I will move this away. You can see these probes cannot move through, so you can just put it on hold position, this zealot, and you can attack with probes too, and if the 6 Zerglings are defeated, you should be ahead if you build this type of war. Let's reset, yeah, and a Baneling bust is normally played on your what is it called? On your lower ramp where your natural is, because a Baneling bust takes a little bit more, not a little bit more, it takes more time than a 12 pool. But I wanted to show as well is if you have Archons in the lower leagues, building placement is a big problem. So we just should build and we'll just take a look if we can move through here.
Annihilate.
This is, yeah, this is the problem with a lot of walls. Sorry for stuttering. So zealots can move through, but Archons cannot. We'll just reset and try this again with barely touching. I think this should be it, barely touching. I will take that. And so this should be 1 hex as well. I'll just take a quick look. Yeah, and we'll take, I think this should be the same, but perhaps sometimes we have hard corners or hard walls and not so hard, and it is stuck again. Another option you have, it depends, you have to train defending 12 pool, and you have to take a look what is your favorite defense. Additional, you could just wall like this. So if the Zerg attacks you, and your zealot is like this and will take attack, my micro is mostly very bad. So he attacks, and we can probe micro here and do stuff like that. And if we need, we can power this gate with another pylon. So if he takes this pylon, we can just build another pylon, which I would recommend anyway, and then you can attack with probes and zealots. This micro was very bad, you have to use stop micro and stuff like that, but this is this pylon, this gate is built very fast because it's near of your nexus. But I think I've seen this kind of wall in Heart of the Swarm. I think Buell played against, on King Sejong Station, played a game where I played an 8 pool and the other guy went Nexus first. You can ask in the comments, in the comment section below, and I can link to it. But these are the most common walls for one base play or a one base opening if you want to open 2 gates and stuff like that. And now we'll jump into the real walls like Nexus First, Forge Fast Expand, Gate Expand, whatever you like. So we'll start with Ascension auir, but first you will see the screenshots of Ascension of auir, das Ascension to auir. Welcome to the next part. This is my 12 pool mod. So let's take a look when he builds the pool. I should rename it. Mostly of the time he builds a 14 pool. The AI cheats a little bit with 40 minerals and a drone, so it's I think 190 minerals. I always try, if I do that, to scout the early pool, but Ascension to auir is a little bit big. There are 2 techniques to place the pylon. You can just go from hex to hex and remember the position on every map, or what I do is barely touching with the radius, barely touching. You can see, sorry for stuttering, you can take a look at DesRow, a Canadian Protoss Grandmaster, and he explains very detailed what is barely touching, where the pylons has to be built. It's a basic guide with general building placement, and he explains it very, very well. And oftentimes I remember the position regarding stuff like this. Not a triangle, you know what I mean. Don't know what the word is. Quadruple is the word if you quadruple a price or stuff. I don't know the word. Quadrat in German, yeah, whatever. And I know the pylon is here. I'm oftentimes remember the position on the wall and where the pylon has to be placed. So 3 techniques. Just remember where it's placed regarding this terrain. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4 for stuff like that, or you can use DesRow technique, barely touching. So I scout the early pool. I immediately build the forge because I'm too bad to defend it otherwise. It was poorly defended in this game anyway. And I should have taken more probes immediately. So my first cannon is down and I lose way too much probes. And so the Zerg is now ahead because the Voltron is on the way. He has a base more than me and we're on the same drone count and I have no base. I think he's ahead now because I lost too much probes. Welcome to the next part. This wall went better. Again, it's a 14 pool. Since this map is a little bit smaller, I scouted in time before the pool is finished. Immediately build a gate, build a forge. Again, if your micro is good enough to build a gate and a core and gas and stuff like that, so do it. I oftentimes play Nexus first and then the wall, but against this 12 pool mod, this could be a little bit tricky. I pull enough probes until my cannons are finished. I should immediately build zealots. I lose 2 probes, 3 probes, but now I can block the entrance and all of his zerglings are dead. So this is the basic wall. You always this is an Artosis pylon if this pylon is not here. So a Baneling Bust which kills this Artosis pylon is very bad for you, but many programmers do 1 pylon in the wall and then re-wall with an additional pylon behind the buildings. And the most important part from in this video for Abyssal Reef is you see he has a longer rush distance when you wall like that, and if you want to open up this path, you just kill the rocks when you have enough army. This is it for Abyssal Reef, and we'll see us in the next part. Thank you very much. Welcome to the next part. This is Blood Boil, and we'll take a look at the noob wall. I suggest this wall if you're bronze to gold, or on maps like Blood Boil and Proxima Station from bronze to gold. But we'll see other techniques of walling as well, and you have seen the screenshots of Gemini. I play Nexus first on those maps, but this will get ugly very fast. Because I take a gas and then see the links. I should cancel the gas so I can put down the forge more early. And I should not take gas this fast, because I have to be safe before I do this. I put probes on hold position. You can see these probes will prevent the links from entering the base, but my zealot is not finished in time, so it's GG right away, because you can see the links are in my base. The cannon, I don't think it will fall, but now I'm behind the Zerg in workers. He has 2 bases and he has 1 queen, so on the other hand I have 2 Nexi and Chrono Boost, but yeah, this game is over. So we'll jump right into the next part of Blood Boil. To wall the low ground is a big gamble, I think, because, well, just fast forward this a little bit, because you need to wall this as well, A good Zerg will fly his first Overlord here or on this high ground here, so you cannot detect it that easily. And he will see this wall with his Overlord, and you have to immediately re-wall this ramp, otherwise he can attack this front, sees okay, he cannot go through, and then walk around here. This will take time, of course, and if you wanna wall like this, you should stop the time, that when the Zerglings hit the wall here, you know, okay, I take a random amount, I have 99 seconds to wall this ramp. Because most players, I think, even in the lower leagues, won't do this. They won't fight here. And they won't let their links die and probably just try to hit this entrance. So again, a probe can buy time, but you should always back up this probe with 2 additional probes, because even if your cannon is up, he can just attack the probe and kill it and then enter your base. Of course he will lose Zerglings. So if I would have put down this pylon earlier, I could have walled with this core, so I need an additional pylon to wall this completely, and this is designed for Baneling Bust or Ravager shots. Again, if the Overlord is here, he can just do Ravager shots here, and yeah, so taking the wall down here is risky. If you see an early pool, immediately back up your wall with an additional pylon. This pylon will come in handy if your mothership core is finished, so it won't hurt you at all. But in the lower leagues, I strongly recommend, if you see 12 to 14 pool, just build a forge after the gate and then build at least 1 cannon. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see us in the next part. Welcome to the next part. This is Defender's Landing, and from bronze to gold I would just veto this map. If you don't wanna veto this map, sorry, I have to explain first why I wanna veto this map. You have seen the screenshots by Gemini. You need 2 pylons and a gate here to completely wall off this. You cannot, if you wall off a pylon and a gate here, he can just destroy the rock tower, the cooling towers, and will destroy the buildings. And you need, I think, 1 pylon and 2 big buildings here. So your complete wall is 2 pylons, 3 pylons, and 3 big buildings. And that's a lot of investment to put down in an early pool, because there is an economic opening with 12 pool, where the Zerg just gets 3 hatches very early on. It's even played in at Grandmaster level. So if the Zerg execute this well on this map, you're immediately behind if you build 3 pylons and 3 big buildings. So from bronze to gold, or even platinum 3, there is the possibility to wall to your nexus. This was done by Yuffie, a master Protoss in Wings of Liberty all the time. We called it UFFE, and you can take a look at walling in the Team Liquid wiki. So what is the next thing? If your probe is too late to reach this base, I would immediately play Forge first, because if you scout the 12th pool too late and the Forge is not built, you're dead, because the rush distance is insanely short, and you wanna have this cannon immediately so you can defend his Zerglings here. Again, this is only for this map and does not apply to other maps. You see, I get the Nexus early on. So now I surround my cannon. A good player would just try to get to your main base, so you have to block the ramp here with your probes. This requires good probe micro, but it's doable. Now we have a complete wall with 1 pylon and 3 big buildings and a cannon. And when the Zerglings move around to attack this cannon or this pylon, you see I immediately built an additional pylon. I don't think it will power this cannon, but I don't think he will get this pylon down either. And I built an additional cannon here, so my economy is protected. But if he tries to attack this cannon, you just surround it with your probes again. So this, and you can see I'm ahead in workers. He cannot take down my gates. This was a mistake to attack with 1 zealot. I just should attack 1 or 2 Zerglings and move into the range of my cannons. And this is over. Again, veto this map if you have problems with walling. If you want to learn to wall, then this is a good map, because most Zerg, or a lot of Zerg, play Speedling all-in, Baneling bust on this map because the rush distance is so short. Thank you very much, and we'll see us in the next part. Welcome to the next part. On this map, somebody played a 13 pool against me, so we'll take a look at this replay. And we'll just show the wall here. Again, place the pylon so it is barely touching this area, or you can count the spaces, the hex to this position, or take a look at those lines and remember where you put it. But barely touching is my favorite style of wall. I built Nexus first. I've seen the pool, and I can build a pylon here to build a complete wall, but we'll see how this works in a real game. So 1 pylon, 3 big buildings, and we'll see. I can move through here, zealots can move through, stalkers I tested as well, and again I don't think Archons will fit, but you should take a look at the beginning of the video if you want to test this out. So this is Silver League, and a real example of how stuff is done, how stuff is defended against a 13 pool. This was one of my first tries playing this map, so I did not know how to wall, and the Gemini post was not available to me. I didn't find it or stuff like that, so this wall is fucked up. I play Nexus first, totally blind. Come on. very bad execution of Nexus first. And now I see the pool is ready. I see 3x. So I know 6 links at least are incoming in a few minutes or a few seconds. So I go back at home. I build the forge immediately in a reaction to this. And since my wall is very bad, I build the cannon immediately. Since my wall is very bad, I have to re-wall with a gate here. And I built an additional cannon, and I built probes all the time. So in C he only lost 1 ling, and he should stay with 1 ling here. He is no cannon, or he cannot attack because this cannon will then kill the links, but he should immediately try to find out, is this gate cancelled or will the Protoss wall in completely. So we jump into this vision. He goes home, and this will kill him. We'll just... I now... why am I walling always like this? Pylon gate, because then the zealot can immediately be rallied into this hole and immediately put on hold position. So I am able to move out with my zealots, and he goes into full drone timing mode, and this will kill him because he did not scout at the front again. Scout the front, scout the frigging front. So now there are 2 zealots, and he has to immediately build additional troops, and he should really... yeah, okay. Problem 1, he did not put his hatcheries on a control group, so he cannot instantly build drones or links from this lava, which is very important if you play a 12 pool into an economic 3 hatch or a 2 hatch build after that. And these overmints are really, really, really bad.
Our forces are under attack.
So he wanna build drones again.
Our forces.
But as you can see, even though he builds 9 drones, he won't be able to get the probe count I have, the worker count I have. I'm 30 probes, 30 workers ahead. So this opening Mamba, I've talked about it with Grandmaster Mamba. It's really, really difficult to execute. And I don't think he must have leave the game here, because he has queens to deal with my mothership. But of course he will lose 1 base now. And at home I have a lot of gates. My gateway tech is done, so I can put pressure on those bases immediately. And he forgot about link speed, which is very bad as well. So this is a full wall, a very bad full wall, but you can easily decide, okay, my forge is too late, my cannon is too late, my zealot is too late, and you build a full wall. And if your multitasking is really good, you can just build the pylon, cancel the pylon, build the pylon, cancel the pylon, and so on. But this is tricky. But you can try it against a friend or something like that. See you guys in the next part. This is Proxima Station, and welcome to the next part. again, you can wall all small ramps like this. If you're bronze to gold, I strongly recommend the noob wall, because your second pylon is immediately there, and you cannot lose it to links. Even if you lose one pylon to links, then you have a second pylon to back up your zealot production. If your zealot is not built, it's almost game over instantly. And I scouted the pool, I built the forge. Gemini built a gateway and a core after that. If you're platinum or above, you can defend stuff like that with sentries and good micro. But in the lower leagues, I strongly recommend getting a forge. Placing this on hold position. You have to build probes, but I want to build a nexus as well. And yeah, that's it for Proxima station. Again, you can take the risk and wall down here. It's not as risky as Blood Boil, because 6 circlings will take a very long, not forever, but a very long time to take down these rocks. But I think in the lower leagues, this is totally fine here. Probably, if your scouting is really good and your multitasking is really good, you can get away with Nexus first on this map. You can just try it, and we'll see us in the next part. This is Sequencer, and welcome to the first part of Sequencer. In the second game, I play Nexus first. I take a risk and I lose the game. Again, technique barely touching. This is barely touching here, barely touching here. The radius of the pylon, not the radius, whatever it's called, you know what I mean. And now my probe is earlier in his base. If he places the pool here, then he wins a little bit of time. Then you have the choice to play Nexus first and probably cancel your Nexus, or you have to delay. You build an additional probe, go to 18 and build an 18 Nexus. But right now I see, okay, he's building a 12 pool to 14 pool. I immediately retreat with my probe and I build forge and then Nexus. It's not as economic as Nexus first, of course, but it should be sufficient. And what I want to show you is building a complete wall, because you can take down these rocks. I will talk about this in the second part as well, because I build a better wall there, but I will lose the game because I play greedy and play Nexus first instead of Forge first. Again, this is only a suggestion from bronze to gold. If your probe micro is really good and your zealot micro is really good, you should be able to handle this like Pig does, and it's shown in the description below. There's the problem here that the AI is not able to play well against a complete wall, but I just taken this scenario. He wouldn't have break it. I just take this scenario to build a zealot and to re-scout, and you can see I'm far ahead in this game. So now I see, oh my god, there are a lot of links and additional links are incoming. So I immediately built a second cannon. And I should immediately build a pylon here, so I can see if he takes down the rocks. Thank you very much, and we'll see us in the last part about Sequencer. Sequencer is the last map I'm gonna show. this time he really plays a 12 pool.
You must construct.
Again, I like this. If you put it on elite and on full rush, he executes this build order really good, and you should always rescout if he builds a natural and builds a lot of drones. So this is walled with 1 pylon and 2 big buildings. And I think I make a mistake here not pulling probes immediately. And the forge and the cannon is too late. Now I will get the probes, and you can see there is a little bit of time 1 probe will give you. I should not fight that much, I only should fight if they attack my cannon. And I think the game is lost here because there are too much links in my base. Yeah, but I think walling should be obvious with this ramp. You could even build a full wall on this map against a 12 pool to 14 pool, because you can take down this rocks or you can take down this rocks, whatever you like. So I think, yeah, this was a mistake. I should just have built immediately the pylon here, or built the pylon, rebuilt the pylon. Again, 8 probes are 400 minerals lost. And if you build a pylon and cancel the pylon, it's 25 minerals. So I could have cancelled this pylon 16 times for the same amount of losses in this game. But I think you should only, if the cannon, when the cannon is up, you're safe. When the zealot is out, and you should only rebuild it 3 times, so you lose probably 100 minerals doing this. And the Zerg invested in this 12 pool a lot of economy too. So thank you very much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I see you guys in the next video.